Brant Richards, you are the managing director of the Genesis of Things project. Can you please explain me in a simple way, what do you do? What is the concept you're working on?
Very simply put, Genesis of Things project is a platform to bring together people involved in the additive manufacturing value chain. So designers of 3D print files, owners of 3D print IP, and owners of additive manufacturing machines. Mm-hmm. And on the platform, customers can come either find existing designs or upload their own designs, then find the best printer in the network. Best could mean closest to the location that they need to have it delivered, could mean the printer that can print with their materials that they need, and order the product and have it delivered to them.
So what if I'm a designer and I design something, someone else can print with their 3D printer? What is the added value of your platform for me?
Well, for the designers and for the owners of print assets, for print machines, it's clearly that they will get more customers. I mean, there's two issues with the sort of distributed, decentralized systems like this. The first is discovery, finding out where the designers are, so this will help. And the second is securitization. So if you are designing, or more importantly, producing on behalf of someone else's IP, let's say, then the customer wants to have the security that you're only going to produce for them and in the quantities that they need. And the platform, using blockchain, provides a number of securitization and quality checks that allow for this entire ecosystem to flourish.
Okay, and how did you come up with this idea?
So the Genesis of Things project stems out of the Innogy Innovation Hub. Mm-hmm. Innogy is one of Germany's largest energy companies. And they started some years ago looking for business models that would originally disrupt their own energy business. Had such good success that they expanded that to other sectors. And we have a number of smart people in the organization that are looking after real business opportunities and to apply new technologies to new ways of doing business. Specifically, what we were looking for are areas where you can bring together a convergence of multiple technologies and unlock possibilities that may not be available with just any one of them. And in this case of the Genesis of Things project, it's 3D printing or additive manufacturing. This is one innovation, and blockchain or distributed ledger technologies, and bringing them together.
Okay, and in what phase is the company exactly?
So we are just now spun off from Innogy.
Exciting.
Just got a large investment from Innogy.
How much?
2 million.
Oh wow!
So it's a nice start.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are now working on rolling out pilots with a few pilot customers.
Okay, so you start small. And then you...
I don't know any other way to start. You can start always with a big vision, that's very important, but you have to prove first things first and second things second. So we've built our prototype for the platform. We're rolling it out with a few pilot customers. And then we're also preparing a few what I call knock-on business models, taking advantage of the blockchain. So we're looking at issuing our own token and working all of that out right now.
Okay. And how will you make money with this company?
The basic idea is that we provide an infrastructure and a set of IP to enable this ecosystem to flourish. And we take, simply put, subscriptions and transaction fees. How that looks, like I said, we're looking into issuing our own coin. So the subscription could take the form of something like an initial coin offering, or you have to buy into the platform with a coin. But all transactions that run across the platform will be charged a fee, a portion of which will go to maintain the infrastructure, to develop new IP, and a portion of which will go to create network effects through royalty payments to the members of the community.
Because then you will pay each other with that token and not with euros or dollars, or is both possible?
Of course, in the beginning, always with fiat currency. The infrastructure is built definitely on the blockchain, so there's an underlying token, our own token already. And we will expose that as we move forward. So there will always be an exchange into fiat currency, but the actual underlying infrastructure will always run on a token.
Okay. And have you run into any hurdles in terms of legislation, for instance?
We haven't run into any hurdles yet, but we're anticipating that in these next years, particularly around issues of blockchain and smart contracts, when we're doing our investigation into our coin, that these issues will come.
Because ICOs, for instance, are not, well, they are frowned upon by governments, right?
I would say they're not yet fully understood. So, yes, and then of course that's human nature. The things that we don't fully understand, we generally tend to shy away from. Mm-hmm. But I always say technology is coming whether humans want it or not. Humans actually are the ones who develop the technology. Maybe not societies, but humans. And once humans put it into the society, then the society has to react because the technology can't just be buried under the ground. So, anytime new big technologies come along, governments, societies have to form new regulations. And we're beginning this period with blockchain. Mm-hmm. It will continue. We saw this also with the sharing economy. We're not done yet with those regulations. But when the people want it and there's a real value of the technology, then the governments and the societies have to catch up.
Yeah. There's always the case of timing, right? Because I don't know about you, but if I look at my family or friends or colleagues or maybe I think too small, maybe, but I don't know a lot of people who own 3D printers or who design for 3D printing. I don't know a lot of people who know blockchain, who trust blockchain. So aren't you maybe a little bit too early? Shouldn't it be somewhat more further in the process for it to succeed?
No. It's the simple answer to that.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Number one, I think that we are just on the cusp of certainly in additive manufacturing. So what we see is now the state of the technology is that more industrial grade parts are being produced. So in 2003, the percentage of industrial grade parts that were made with 3D printing was around 3%. They were making prototypes, they were making consumer, I call them tchotchkes or trinkets. And now we're up to 60% is actually industrial parts that are being made. We see large organizations like Siemens and GE taking multiple billions of dollars and euros in their hands to invest in this technology. But what we don't see yet is the ability for smaller and medium-sized enterprises to get into the game because they don't have the R&D budget or the capital budgets that GE has. So this is what we try to deliver.
You're focusing on that group?
We are focusing on industrials and small and medium-sized enterprises first.
Okay.
To bring them access to the same innovations that now the big players have already validated, but they don't have the access to the capital to invest in their own machines, to invest in the R&D, to even know which machines they need. So we provide them an ecosystem of multiple machines of different types that they can access without having to put any capital on the table. And in order to enable the trust required for them to interact, then we bring in the distributed ledger technologies, a number of IoT and chip cryptography technologies to really raise the level of trust in the system.
Okay. Brant Richards, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.